Hello, my friends. This is Logan. Before we get started with today's jam, I just want to say thank you guys for listening. We're a little more than halfway through Jamuary 2021, and I appreciate all of the comments, all of the thumbs up, all of the listens that you guys have done over the last couple of weeks. It's nice to know that folks are paying attention, that people seem to enjoy some of the music that I'm putting out there, and I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear your comments. I love reading those, so thank you very much. And I did want to let you know that if you do have a comment, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments down there. I read all of them. I try to respond to as many as I can. If it's a question, I'll try to answer you. I am a teacher at heart. That's what I love to do. So if you have a question about my setup or something, I'd love to answer it. I'd love to chat with you. And of course, if you have music, I would love to hear it. Please share your music. I love listening to other people's music, and I love getting their music out there. So I'll be happy to do some shout outs or anything like that if you have music that you want me to check out. And especially if there's something you want to hear over the next couple of weeks throughout the rest of January, please let me know. If there's an app that you've been wanting to hear and that you haven't seen me mess with, or even a style of music that you want me to mess with a little bit, I'm always looking for suggestions. It's kind of a struggle coming up with something every day that's unique and different. Most of the time I'm recording with just my iPad, so I'm not using just a whole lot of instruments all the time, but on the weekends especially, I have some time to be able to use my Eurorack synthesizers or use my guitar like I'm doing today, or you may have eyed the 6-string bass sitting behind me. Bass is my main instrument, and I haven't really done anything with bass yet, so that might be coming in the future as well. So please put your comments out there, but mostly just thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. And on with today's jam. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so for today's jam, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of showing you the kind of fast motion process of setting everything up in AUM, I've already got it done. I spent a little bit of time this morning kind of making things sound the way I wanted them to. I've wanted to set up a guitar tone that I could run just straight into my iPad and be happy with for a while, and I think I finally got that. So I'm just going to use that for today's jam. We're going to do kind of a lo-fi, down-tempo, just set a drum beat and loop a chord over it, and then I'm going to improvise for a little while. So I want to kind of talk you through the stuff real quick. I won't make this too fast because I know you're more interested in getting to the music. I am going to release this one, by the way, on Bandcamp. I think if it turns out okay, we'll see. All right, so my guitar is a Fender Telecaster that's been heavily modified. The body started out as a modern player. I think probably Mexican made, I believe, maybe even, I don't know. It's one of the 22 fret ones that they released a few years ago. It's a little bit weird. So it had a pickup. It had a humbucker already in the bridge. And then I had my buddy Bear at Palmer Studios in Conway, Arkansas, route out the neck pickup so that I could put another humbucker in there. And I grabbed a different pickguard that would fit. And I also changed things up a little bit. I swapped out the neck. So like I said, this originally had a 22 fret neck on it, which was fine. The 22 frets didn't bother me, but it was really heavy in polyurethane, which I'm not a fan of. It felt really sticky to me. So I swapped out the neck with a nitrocellulose neck from a Mexican Nashville telly that I just absolutely loved. I still have that body laying around. I'm trying to find a neck to put on it. One of these days I'll get it going again as a backup guitar. But so this has the Nashville Telly neck on it, which I'm just a huge fan of. It's super smooth and fast, and it's the nitrocellulose neck that I love so much. The pickups are EMG. There's an 85X in the bridge and an 81X in the neck, so really hot EMG humbucker pickups. But they have great tone to them. I play a lot of jazz and fusion kind of stuff, and they do a really good job with that. But then I can also drop down low and get some nasty metal tones if I want to kind of go that route, or I can get some kind of bluesy tones out of it. I think they're really versatile pickups, and I'm a big fan. Standard telly setup, volume, tone, 3-way switch, all that stuff. You might have noticed that I've got this funky little Fishman thing down here. I do have the Triple Play Connect MIDI pickup. I'm not crazy about it. I haven't used it a whole lot, that's what that weird thing down in the bottom is. So that's the guitar that I'm running through. I'm running direct into a Tascam 4x4 recording interface. If you watched my video on connecting hardware to AUM, you've seen that interface, same one. I'm running into that. And then over here in the iPad, I want to kind of show you what I'm running through. So I'll pop up the iPad screen now so that you can see what's going on. So I have two tracks. Tracks 1 and 2 are basically identical. In fact, one is just a duplication of the other one. For channel 1, though, I've added Enso to it. So I'm going to do my loop in Enso, which will be a 16-beat loop. Or a 32-beat loop, actually. I think it's 8 measures that I wanted to do the progression twice and get it looped, and then I'll do some jamming over the top of it. So the actual guitar tone, though, before adding any other effects, I went in and I kind of set up the amp the way that I wanted it. So I started with the American Vintage sound, which uses kind of the Fender tube amp sound, and then I've got the saturation, the channel strip on it, a speaker cabinet emulator with a set at a 412 vintage, with the dynamic mic and set near and off axis a little bit. I do have a tape echo on here. I'm not using it for this one, but I can add it later on if I want to. And then before the amp, I have kind of my standard setup. This is fairly similar to my pedal board setup. So I've got just kind of the basic overdrive pedal, which I think is modeled after the Boss overdrive. I'm not 100% sure. You guys can tell me in the comments if that's correct. And I've got the drive pulled back a little bit, and then the level and tone set pretty much at 12 o'clock. And that is on all the time. That's my clean tone, is actually just a little bit dirty. I can play with my volume knob to get a little bit of drive in there if I want. I don't like a pure clean tone. I like a little bit of grit in there. And then after that, I have a tube screamer. So if I really want to get dirty with it, I can add that tube screamer, and I'll show you what that sounds like in just a second. And then I have a Univibe after that. If I want some chorus or some vibrato, I can bring that in. For this one, I've got it set for vibrato, just a really, really light vibrato sound. So my clean tone with the volume rolled back to about 75% sounds like this. That's also got the tone pulled back just a smidge. So pretty nice tone. Oh, I didn't mention my guitar is tuned down a whole step. So it's D, G, C, F, A, D. I use thick strings and I like to tune it down. I also just like the warmth of that. I'm actually working on getting a baritone neck for this guitar so that I can get that even richer, darker tone. So, you know, it's ambient music. What do you expect? So that's my tone, my clean tone. And that's with the volume rolled back. If I roll it up a little bit, you can hear it does put that little bit of dirt in there. So it is a pretty warm tone. I could bring up the tone on the overdrive if I want. If I want to add just a little bit more of the high end to it. Of course, I'm also on the neck pickup too. So if I roll back, which I never do. That's not really my style. I pretty much always stay on the upper pickup. If I add the tube screamer to it, you get that extra drive in there, which of course I'm a huge fan of. That's kind of the sound I wanted with it. Now on top of that, so that's the everything I've got running in the MixBox, in the IK MixBox for now, which I'm very happy with. But I also have, of course, the Stratosphere Cloud Reverb, which sounds like this. What a great sounding reverb. I just absolutely love it. And then for this jam, because I do like a lot of delay, I use Kosmonaut all the time. So I do have the Kosmonaut on. I started with, I believe, the Secret Sauce preset, and then I just went crazy from there. So I should probably save this preset somewhere, but it's just got a bunch of feedback that's it's going to delay forever. So whenever I play the chord, you can really hear it ring out. And I'm sure at some point I'm going to crank up the looper and let it do its thing there. So that's over the clean tone. And whenever I start to solo, I'll kick on the overdrive, the overscream. And we'll get that going. Let me pull a little bit more treble into there. Bring the presence up some. And then I also have the an EBow that I'm going to probably use throughout here. We'll kind of see how it goes. I've got it sitting off to the side, so I'll probably grab it. This is a Christmas present from my wife. I'm a big fan of the EBow. Let's get the iPad out of the shot there. I absolutely love it. I've only just begun to figure out how to use it, so I may make some mistakes. I tend to press down too hard with it, so you may hear some of the string rattles and stuff in there. But with the EBow on, sounds kind of like... Oh, I'm a huge fan. I love Kosmonaut so much. I'm sure if you watch my videos, you figured that out by now. So with the EBow, it's really cool. One of the side effects of having super hot pickups is that you will hear the octave jump occasionally. It's actually kind of difficult to tone that down and to keep it under control without just really pulling back away from the pickup, and then you start to lose some of the tone. So it takes a little bit of a delicacy with the hand there, but we're going to make it work. So that's pretty much the setup. I do have, of course, a drum loop going from patterning. Sounds like this. Get back around. There we go. So just a pretty simple, pretty standard drum loop. I'm using the Modern Hip Hop by Max.on the Internet. I like that one a lot. That's kind of become my default for this. I'm running the IK MixBox Lo-Fi Drums preset with that, and then I'm also running BLEASS Filter and a little bit of BLEASS Reverb just to thicken it up a little bit. So, and then we'll jam over the top of it. Pretty standard jam today, just kind of improvising a little bit on guitar. You know, as all my jams are, this is mostly for me. It's just kind of a challenge to me to get music out every day and to play a little bit every day. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really going to enjoy jamming a little bit. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down there. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. It helps the channel out so much. Thank you guys all for being with me and sticking around, and please find me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, and let's chat. Let's talk a little bit about music and share some music, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the other side. Bye.